At 27, I was completely broke on paper. I had a job. A decent one, actually. But I also had a car loan, a maxed-out credit card, student debt that felt like a ball and chain, and at the end of every single month, I had nothing left over. Not a dollar. Sometimes I was going backwards. Today, I'm a millionaire, and I did it by 40. But here's what I need you to understand right now. It didn't happen because I got lucky. It didn't happen because I picked the right crypto coin or stumbled into some secret investment. It happened because of 3 specific decisions I made. Decisions that, honestly, anyone watching this video can make too. If you're in your 30s or even your late 20s and you feel like you're behind, like the financial life you imagined just isn't matching the reality in your bank account, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, I'm going to hand you the exact same 3-decision framework I used to go from financially stuck to financially free. And I'm going to show you the real numbers. No fluff. No clickbait. Real math. Real story. Let's get into it. I want to normalize something first. We don't talk about money honestly enough. People post vacations on Instagram. They post their new cars. They post their promotions. But nobody posts a screenshot of their overdraft notice, right? Nobody goes live to say, "Hey guys, I have $214 in my checking account and rent is due Friday." Well, I'm going to do the thing that most people won't. I'm going to show you where I actually started. On screen, show a simplified budget breakdown graphic, styled like an old spreadsheet. This right here, this was me in 2011. My take-home income after taxes was just under $2,900 a month. And my monthly expenses? $3,150. I was spending more than I was making every single month. I had a car payment of $310. I had a student loan minimum payment of $220. A credit card that I kept telling myself I'd pay off next month, which turned into every month for 3 years. And a rent payment that ate up nearly half my income. I remember sitting down one evening trying to make the numbers work and literally just staring at the screen thinking, how does anyone actually get ahead? Sound familiar? If it does, drop a comment below. I genuinely want to know I'm not alone in that moment. And I want you to know you're not alone either. Here's the thing though. I didn't stay there. And the reason I didn't stay there isn't because my income magically tripled overnight. It's because I made 3 decisions that completely rewired how I thought about money. And the first one? It changed everything. I call this the commitment decision. And it sounds simple. Almost embarrassingly simple. But most people never actually make it. The decision was this. I will invest money every single month. No matter what. Not when I have extra money. Not when the market looks good. Not after I pay off this one debt. Every month. No matter what. Now here's where I was mentally at the time. I thought investing was for people with extra money. Rich people. People who had already figured it out. Because every time I looked at my budget, I didn't have spare cash. I was in the red. So where was I supposed to pull investment money from? And on top of that, I was scared of the market. I'd watched people lose money in 2008. I'd heard the horror stories. I thought, what if I start investing and then the market crashes and I lose it all? Let me show you why both of those fears were wrong. On screen, show compound interest growth chart. $300 per month at 8% over 30 years. Here's the math that broke my brain. If you invest just $300 a month, that's $10 a day at an average 8% annual return. In 30 years, you'll have over $440,000. Not from saving $440,000. You only put in $108,000 of your own money. The rest, over $330,000, came from compound growth. From money making money. But look at what happens when you wait just 10 years to start. Same $300 a month. Same 8% return. Now you only end up with around $176,000. You lost over $260,000. Not because you did anything wrong, just because you waited. That math alone forced me to start, even when I couldn't afford to. I cut my going out budget. I dropped a subscription service. I sold an old gaming console. I found $200 a month to invest. and I never missed it after the first 3 months because it became automatic. On screen, show S&P 500 crash recovery chart, 2008, 2020, 2022. And the fear about crashes? Here's what the data actually shows. Every major market crash in modern history, 2000, 2008, 2020, 2022, was eventually followed by a full recovery and new highs. Every single one. The people who lost money permanently were the ones who panicked and sold at the bottom. The people who stayed in, or better yet, kept buying during the dip, came out ahead. I invested during the COVID crash in 2020. I kept investing when the market dropped 20% in 2022. Those investments are now some of my best performing positions. The commitment decision isn't about having perfect timing. It's about refusing to stop. Start now. Stay in. That's the whole decision. Decision number 2 is what I call the ownership decision. And to explain it, I have to first tell you about my biggest investing mistake. When I first started getting serious about the market, I got excited. I started researching individual stocks. I read articles. I watched videos. I felt like I was doing the work. And I bought shares in 3 or 4 companies I believed in. I thought I was being smart. One of those companies was a mid-sized retail chain that seemed rock solid to me at the time. Good brand. Good foot traffic. I'd personally shopped there for years. Within 4 years, it was gone. Bankrupt. My investment went to zero. On screen, show graphic, individual stock versus S&P 500 index, 10-year comparison. Here's what the research actually says. A landmark study analyzing every U.S. stock since 1926 found that more than 50% of all individual stocks produced a negative lifetime return. More than half. Worse than just holding cash. And only about 4% of stocks were responsible for the entire net wealth created in the U.S. stock market. 4%. That means if you're picking individual stocks, the odds are stacked against you, not because you're dumb, but because even the best analysts in the world with Bloomberg terminals and research teams consistently underperform the index over the long run. So what did I do? I made the ownership decision. Instead of trying to pick the 4%, I decided to own all of them. Index funds. Specifically, a simple 3-fund portfolio. One fund tracking the total U.S. stock market, one fund for more aggressive growth exposure, one fund for dividend income and stability. On screen, show a simple pie chart. 70% total market / 20% growth / 10% dividends. That's it. No stock picking. No timing the market. No rebalancing every week based on headlines. Just consistent ownership of the entire market through low-cost index funds. Today, over 80% of my portfolio sits in index funds. And that boring, simple strategy has been the engine behind my net worth crossing the $1 million mark. Because while everyone else was chasing the next hot stock, I was quietly owning everything and letting compounding do its job. If you take only one thing from this video, let it be this. Don't try to beat the market. Just own it. This is the one that nobody wants to hear. But it might be the most important decision of all 3. I call it the gap decision. And the concept is dead simple. Every time your income goes up, your lifestyle stays the same, and the difference goes straight to investing. Let me show you why this matters with 2 real people. We'll call them Marcus and Tyler. On screen, show split screen comparison graphic, Marcus versus Tyler. Both are 30 years old. Both earn $75,000 a year. At 33, both get promotions and a $15,000 raise. Now they each bring home $90,000. Marcus, he's been living comfortably on $75,000. He decides the raise is going entirely toward investing. That's roughly $1,250 extra per month going into his index funds. Tyler feels like he deserves this. He upgrades his car. It's a lease, just $550 a month. He moves to a nicer apartment, $400 more per month. He's still saving something, about $300 a month. He feels fine. He feels like he's winning. Fast forward 20 years at 8% annual growth. Marcus has over $900,000 from those investments alone. Tyler has just under $165,000. Same salary, same raise. A difference of over $735,000. Tyler didn't make bad decisions exactly. He just made the same decision that lifestyle inflation tricks millions of people into making every year. And the cost of that decision, compounded over 2 decades, is nearly $750,000. I almost fell into this trap too, twice. The first time I got a meaningful raise, I bought a car I had no business buying. Nothing crazy, but it wasn't what I needed. It was what the raise made me feel like I deserved. I caught myself, sold it, bought something practical, and paid it off fast. And that one correction bought me years of financial momentum. On screen, show timeline graphic. Income growth alongside investment growth from 2013 to 2023. Now here's the other half of this decision that most people miss. And it's the part that accelerated my timeline significantly. I didn't just freeze my lifestyle. I actively grew my income on multiple fronts. I pushed hard in my career. I took courses, got certifications, asked for promotions intentionally, not passively. And on the side, I started building additional income streams. Slowly at first, failing more than succeeding. But by the time I hit my mid-30s, that side income was no longer side money. It was real money. Money that went straight into the gap. More income. Same lifestyle. Bigger gap. Bigger investments. Faster freedom. That's the gap decision in action. So here's the full picture. 3 decisions. That's it. Decision 1. The commitment decision. Start investing right now. Not when it's convenient. Not when the market is calm. Not when you have extra. Right now. And never stop. Decision 2. The ownership decision. Stop trying to pick winners in a market where even the professionals are guessing. Own the whole market through index funds and let compounding do what it does. Decision 3. The gap decision. Every raise, every bonus, every side income stream. The lifestyle stays flat and the gap between your income and your spending goes straight to work for you. I went from negative on paper in 2011 to a millionaire by 40. Not from luck, not from a viral moment. From these 3 decisions made consistently, repeatedly, through market crashes, through life getting expensive, through moments of doubt. And if you're watching this right now, whether you're just starting out or you've already got something built, these decisions still apply. It's never too early. It's never too late. If you want me to go deeper on any one of these, the exact index funds I use, how I structure my side income, or how I handle debt payoff while also investing, let me know in the comments. If there's enough interest, I'll build entire videos around each one. And while you're down there, tell me this. Which one of these 3 decisions do you need to make right now? The commitment, the ownership, or the gap? Drop your answer below. I read every single one. If this video added value to your financial journey, make sure you check out the next one right here. Keep building your financial edge, and we'll see you at Matt Finn Lab.